This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, students. Last class, I explained the dynamic equation of gradually varied flow in the wide rectangular channel. In the previous classes, we discussed the dynamic equation of gradually varied flow dy by dx equal to S naught minus SF divided by 1 minus q square t by GAQ. That is the dynamic equation of gradually varied flow. And in the last class, I explained this dynamic equation of gradually varied flow for the wide rectangular channel. Please go through that again, important concept. So the dynamic equation we know in the gradually varied flow is dy by dx equal to S naught minus SF divided by 1 minus q square t by GAQ. On the right hand side, take this S naught common in the numerator. So this equation becomes as dy by dx equal to S naught into 1 minus SF divided by S naught divided by 1 minus q square t by GAQ. So this is the dynamic equation of gradually varied flow. We are going to discuss this dynamic equation for the wide rectangular channel. Check that right hand side. In the right hand side, SF, the total energy line slope. SF is the slope of total energy line. S naught is the slope of the channel bottom. In the denominator, q square t by GAQ. Now, in the wide rectangular channel, we must find out this ratio SF by F, S naught first. First, we must find out this ratio SF by S naught. For the wide rectangular channel, we must find out this ratio SF by S naught. In this, SF is the slope of the total energy line. We know that we use this slope SF. We use the slope SF in the Chassis equation when the flow is gradually varied flow. Whereas S naught is the slope of the channel bottom. We use this S naught, the slope of the channel bottom, in Chassis equation when the flow is uniform flow. So please check this carefully. SF, the slope of the total energy line, the slope SF is applied, is used in the Chassis equation when the flow is gradually varied flow. Whereas S naught is the slope of the channel bottom, S naught is applied in the Chassis equation when the flow is uniform flow. So in the wide rectangular channel, to find out this ratio SF by S naught, we consider three different water levels in the wide rectangular channel. One is normal depth of flow Yn. Next one is the depth of flow Y at gradually varied flow. Third one, the critical depth of flow Yc. We consider three different depths of water flow in the wide rectangular channel. To simplify this right hand side of dynamic equation. So by using this, observe this carefully, by using this normal depth Yn and this gradually varied flow depth Y, we are going to find out this ratio SF by S naught. Then we are using this value Yc to find out this denominator q square t by GAQ. So to simplify this right hand side of the dynamic equation, in the wide rectangular channel, we consider three different depths of flow in the wide rectangular channel. Normal depth of flow Yn. At normal depth of flow, the water flow is uniform. Since the water flow is uniform, to calculate the discharge Q in that uniform flow, we must use the channel bottom slope S naught. Whereas Y is the gradually varied flow depth Y. Gradually varied flow. To find out the discharge at depth Y, we use this slope of the energy line SF. So to find out this ratio SF by S naught, for the wide rectangular channel, and also this denominator q square t by Ga cube. We consider three different depth of flow in the wide rectangular channel: normal depth of flow, the gradually varied flow depth y, and the critical depth of flow yc. Now observe the water surface profiles in those three different depths yn, y, and yc. These are the water surface profiles. At a normal depth yn, this is the water surface profile. At a normal depth, the water flow is uniform flow. So at uniform flow, while calculating the discharge Q at uniform flow, we use this channel bottom slope S0. The second water surface profile is gradually varied flow, that is at depth y. And this is the gradually varied flow water surface profile. At gradually varied flow, to find out the discharge Q, we use the total energy line SF, slope of the total energy line SF, either in the Manning's equation or in the Chezy's equation. At uniform flow, we use the channel bottom slope S0. At gradually varied flow, we use the slope of the total energy line SF. Then to find out q square t by Ga cube, we consider this critical depth also in the diagram. This is the critical water surface profile. So to simplify the dynamic equation, dy by dx equal to S0 into 1 minus SF by S0 divided by 1 minus q square t by Ga cube. To simplify that dynamic equation, in the wide rectangular channel, we consider these three different water surface profiles in the wide rectangular channel. Now we are going to find out the right hand side, the ratio SF by S0. In the dynamic equation for the wide rectangular channel, we are going to find out this ratio SF by S0. S0 is the channel bottom slope used in uniform flow. SF is the total energy line slope used in gradually varied flow. Now coming to this simplification of SF by S0, we can find out this ratio SF by S0 either by using the Chezy's equation or by using the Manning's equation. So this ratio SF by S0 can be calculated by using either the Chezy's equation or the Manning's equation. Now check that calculation of the ratio SF by S0 in the dynamic equation for wide rectangular channel. We know that in the wide rectangular channel, the width B is far greater than depth of flow Y. So take the gradually varied flow. In the wide rectangular channel, the width B far greater than this depth Y. If I take normal depth, B is far greater than Yn. Then in the wide rectangular channel, the wetted area A, B into Y. At normal depth, this equation becomes as B into Yn. At gradually varied flow, the wetted area B into Y. Then the wetted perimeter of the wide rectangular channel is equal to B. The hydraulic radius of wide rectangular channel is equal to Y. This is at gradually varied flow. At normal depth, R is equal to Y. So in the wide rectangular channel, wetted area A, B into Y or B into Yn. This wetted perimeter P is B, hydraulic radius is Y, depth of flow Y or Yn. Now coming to the Chezy's equation to find out the ratio SF by S0. First consider the uniform, the gradually varied flow condition. First consider the gradually varied flow in the wide rectangular channel. We know that at gradually varied flow, the depth of flow is Y. At gradually varied flow, the depth of flow is Y. So at gradually varied flow, the wetted area A is equal to B into Y. Hydraulic radius R is equal to Y. Then we calculate the discharge Q in the gradually varied flow by considering the slope of the total energy line SF. So If the water flow is gradually varied flow, the discharge of water flow by using the Chezy's equation can be calculated by using the total energy line slope SF. So first consider the Chezy's equation. Apply this Chezy's equation for the gradually varied flow in the wide rectangular channel to find out the discharge Q in that channel. This is the equation of Chezy's equation of discharge Q. C A into root R SF. C is the Chezy's constant. A is the wetted area. At gradually varied flow, the wetted area is V into Y. And this R is the hydraulic radius. In wide rectangular channel, R is equal to Y power half into SF power half. This Y into Y power half is Y power 3 by 2. So the discharge Q according to Chezy's equation at gradually varied flow, Q is equal to CB Y power 3 by 2 SF power half. Square this equation on both sides. So Q square equal to C square B square Y cube SF. Take this as equation 1. This is the equation 1 is the Chezy's equation applied to the gradually varied flow in the wide rectangular channel. Then also apply this Chezy's equation for the normal depth Yn in the wide rectangular channel for this same discharge Q. For this same discharge Q, if Yn is the normal depth of flow in that wide rectangular channel, at a normal depth, the flow is uniform. Since the flow is uniform, when you are using this Chezy's equation at a normal depth, we must consider this bottom slope S0, channel bottom slope, because at a normal depth, the water flow in the channel is uniform flow. So at a normal depth Yn, take this discharge is Q in the open channel. Then at a normal depth Yn, this wetted area A is equal to V into Yn. The hydraulic radius R is equal to Yn. So if I again simplify this at a normal depth, I will get the discharge Q square at a normal depth Yn according to Chezy's equation. Q square is equal to C square B square Yn cube S0. S0 is the channel bottom slope. So in this, the Chezy's equation first applied for the gradually varied flow, we got this equation 1. Then the Chezy's equation is applied for the uniform flow condition at a normal depth Yn, we got this equation 2. These two equations 1 and 2 provides the same discharge of flow in the open channel, in the wide rectangular channel. For the same discharge Q, one is at gradually varied flow, other one is at normal depth of flow. Since LHS is same in both equations, equate the RHS in both equations. Equation 1 RHS C square B square Y cube SF. Equation 2 RHS C square B square Yn cube S0. When you equate these RHS, C square B square will cancel. So you will get, by equating the equation 1 and 2, after this cancellation of C square B square on both sides, you will get Y cube into SF. This is gradually varied flow is equal to Yn cube into S0. This is the uniform flow at normal depth Yn. Then from this equation, you will get this ratio SF by S0. That is on the right hand side of dynamic equation. In the numerator, if I take S0 is common in the dynamic equation, dy by dx equal to S0 into 1 minus SF by S0. According to Chezy's equation, that ratio SF by S0 equal to Yn by Y whole cube. Then again, we are going to get this value SF by S0 ratio by applying the Manning's equation. In the open channels, we have the Manning's equation also to calculate the discharge of flow Q. Now coming to this Manning's equation, first apply the Manning's equation at gradually varied flow to calculate the discharge Q. At gradually varied flow, depth of flow is Y. When the discharge is determined for the gradually varied flow, we must consider the slope of the total energy line SF. So according to Manning's equation, the discharge of water flow Q at gradually varied flow in the wide rectangular channel Q is equal to 1 by N A wetted area A R power 2 by 3 SF power half. Since it is for the gradually varied flow, we must consider the slope of the total energy line SF. Here N is Manning's coefficient small n, A is the wetted area at gradually varied flow. Wetted area A is equal to V into Y. Y is the depth of flow at gradually varied flow. And for the wide rectangular channel, hydraulic radius R is equal to Y. So the discharge Q according to Manning's equation at gradually varied flow Q is equal to 1 by N into By wetted area into Y power 2 by 3, that is R power 2 by 3 into SF power half. And simplify this, Y into Y power 2 by 3. This is Y power 1. So it is Y power 2 by 3. So it is Y power 1 plus 2 by 3. So it comes to Y power 5 by 3. So according to Manning's equation at gradually varied flow, the discharge Q is equal to 1 by N V into Y power 5 by 3 into SF power half. Square this equation on both sides. You will get the discharge square. Q square is equal to 1 by N square into V square into Y power 5 by 3 whole square, that is Y power 10 by 3 into SF power half whole square, that is SF. So this is equation 4. The equation 4 is the discharge Q in the wide rectangular channel at gradually varied flow according to Manning's equation. Now apply the Manning's equation for the same discharge Q at normal depth Yn. Apply the Manning's equation for this same discharge Q at normal depth Yn. At normal depth Yn, the flow is uniform. So while calculating the discharge Q at uniform flow, we must consider the slope of the channel bottom S0. And at a normal depth, the depth of flow is Yn. So this wetted area in the wide rectangular channel at a normal depth is V into Yn. This hydraulic radius R is equal to Yn at a normal depth in the wide rectangular channel. So at a normal depth, according to Manning's formula, the discharge square Q square is equal to 1 by N square into V square into Yn whole power 10 by 3 into S0. Because the flow at normal depth is uniform flow, we must consider the channel bottom slope S0. Take that as equation 5. In the equation 4 and equation 5, we have the same discharge Q. Since the LHS in both equations is same, equate the RHS in the equation 4 and equation 5. So in the equation 4 and 5, discharge is Q, same. Equate the RHS in both equations. The RHS of equation 4, 1 by N square B square Y power 10 by 3 SF. Because the equation 4 is for gradually varied flow. The RHS of equation 5, 1 by N square B square Yn power 10 by 3 S0. Because this equation 5 is at uniform flow, that is in normal depth Yn. Cancel the common terms on both sides. 1 by N square B square, 1 by N square B square. Then from this you will get the final relation as Y power 10 by 3 into SF. This is at gradually varied flow is equal to Yn power 10 by 3 at S0. This is at uniform flow, normal depth Yn. From this equation, you will get SF by S0 is equal to Yn by Y whole power 10 by 3. This is the ratio of SF by S0 according to Manning's equation. According to Chezy's equation, SF by S0 is equal to Yn by Y whole cube. According to Manning's equation, SF by S0 is equal to Yn by Y whole power 10 by 3. Now coming to the denominator. In the dynamic equation, the denominator is Q square T by Ga cube. This is the denominator. To simplify this denominator, Q square T by Ga cube, we consider the critical depth of flow Yc. In the wide rectangular channel, we have the third depth of flow, the critical depth of flow Yc. By using that critical depth Yc, we are going to simplify the denominator q square t by Ga cube, that is equal to q square into, since the channel is a rectangular channel, the top width t is equal to the width b divided by z into, at gradually varied flow, this wetted area is by. So a cube by whole cube. Simplify this equation. It is q square b divided by g into by whole cube is b cube into y cube. Cancel one b in this equation. So this equation becomes as q square divided by g into b square into y cube. Now check this ratio q by b. Q is the total discharge. B is the width of the channel. This q by b, total discharge divided by width of the channel. Q by b is called the discharge per unit width small q. In the unit 1, at a specific energy critical depth, we discuss this discharge small q, the discharge in the open channel per unit width. So we discussed in the unit 2, the critical depth in rectangular channel. So go to that notes in the unit 1. At a unit 1, after the completion of specific energy and critical depth, I explained the critical depth in rectangular channel. While discussing that critical depth in rectangular channel in unit 1, we discussed two discharges in rectangular channel. One is the total discharge capital Q. Next one is the discharge per unit width small q. The discharge per unit width small q is equal to capital Q divided by B. So here this Q by B, this total discharge per width Q by B is equal to small q. So simplify this equation. Q square divided by Z B square y cube is equal to capital Q by B whole square. So it is a small q square divided by Z into y cube. At critical depth in rectangular channel, unit 1. In that concept of critical depth in rectangular channel, I explained this ratio q square by z. In the rectangular channel, the ratio q square by z is equal to the yc cube, that is critical depth whole cube. So please go through the notes. In unit 1, the concept is the critical depth in rectangular channel. In that concept of critical depth in rectangular channel, I explained this equation q square by z in the rectangular channel is equal to yc cube. So here q square by z is yc cube. So this ratio capital Q square into t divided by Ga cube is equal to q square g by y cube. Q square by z is equal to yc cube. So this value q square t divided by Ga cube in the denominator is yc cube divided by y cube, that is yc by y whole cube. So in this dynamic equation of wide rectangular channel, first we calculated the ratio SF by S0 by using Chezy's equation and also by using Manning's equation. According to Chezy's equation, SF by S0 is equal to yn by y whole cube. According to Manning's equation, SF by S0 is equal to yn by y whole power 10 by 3. And also we calculated the value q square t by Ga cube is equal to yc by y whole cube. Now we are going to see what is the dynamic equation for the wide rectangular channel according to Chezy's formula and also according to Manning's formula. So please check this equation. This is the dynamic equation in the gradually varied flow. In the gradually varied flow, the dynamic equation is dy by dx is S0 minus SF divided by 1 minus q square t by Ga cube. Already I explained this q square t by Ga cube is also equal to Fr square, that I discussed in dynamic equation. So the actual dynamic equation is dy by dx equal to S0 minus SF divided by 1 minus q square t by Ga cube. We take this S0 in the numerator common. So this equation becomes as S0 into 1 minus SF by S0 whole divided by 1 minus q square t by Ga cube. In the wide rectangular channel, we calculate this ratio SF by S naught by using the Chezy's equation and also by using Manning's equation. As per the Chezy's equation, SF by S naught is equal to Yn by Y whole cube. This is SF by S naught as per the Chezy's equation. We also calculated in the wide rectangular channel q square t by Ga cube. In the wide rectangular channel, q square t by Ga cube is equal to Yc by Y whole cube. So this dynamic equation, when applied to wide rectangular channel, according to Chezy's formula, changes as this dynamic equation. If I use this dynamic equation for the wide rectangular channel, according to Chezy's formula, this equation becomes as dy by dx equal to S naught into 1 minus Yn by Y whole cube divided by 1 minus Yc by Y whole cube. We call this as dy by dx equal to S naught into 1 minus Yn by Y whole cube divided by 1 minus Yc by Y whole cube. We call this as the dynamic equation for wide rectangular channel according to Chezy's formula. Similarly, according to Manning's formula, this ratio SF by S naught is equal to Yn by Y whole power 10 by 3. Whereas q square t by Ga cube is same as Yc by Y whole cube. So according to Manning's equation, the dynamic equation in the wide rectangular channel is given by dy by dx equal to S naught into 1 minus Yn by Y power 10 by 3 divided by Yc by Y power cube. So these are the dynamic equations of the wide rectangular channel. First one is according to Chezy's formula. Second one is according to Manning's formula. So this is the concept of dynamic equation in the wide rectangular channel. After that, dynamic equation of wide rectangular channel in unit 2, we are going to discuss what are the different types of channel bottom slopes. In unit 2, next we are going to discuss the different types of the channel bottom slopes. That is called classification of channel bottom slope. We know that the channel bottom is a sloped bottom. Due to that, the water is flowing in the channel. The water flow in the channel is because of the slope provided to the channel bottom. That channel bottom, depending upon the slope S naught, the channel bottom is of 5 different types. The channel bottom in open channels is of 5 different types. One is called critical channel bottom or the critical slope. Second one is called mild channel bottom or mild slope. Third one is called steep channel bottom or steep slope. Fourth one is called horizontal channel bottom. Fifth one is called adverse channel bottom. So like that, in open channels, whether they are man-made channels or natural channels. Man-made channels are rectangular channel, trapezoidal channel constructed by civil engineers. Natural channels are the rivers, streams like that. Either that open channel is a man-made channel or the natural channel, the channel bottom slope are classified into 5 types. One is critical slope, second one is mild slope, third one is steep slope, fourth one is horizontal slope, and the fifth one is adverse slope. Now we are going to discuss how to classify the channel bottom slope. Please everyone listen. How to classify the channel bottom slope, either as steep slope or mild slope or critical slope or horizontal slope or adverse slope. To classify that channel bottom slope, we are always consider the critical flow in the open channel. By observing this critical flow, this is the critical flow water surface profile. Please everyone focus on this diagram in the cell phones. Everyone focus on this diagram. In this diagram, we have two water surface profiles. One is at critical depth. This is called the critical water surface profile. We have the channel bottom also. We have the total energy line. Apart from that channel bottom, total energy line, in the diagram, we have the critical water surface profile. The slope of this critical water surface profile indicated as SC. SC is called the slope of the water surface profile in the open channel at critical depth YC. The second one is the normal depth water surface profile. We know that at normal depth, the water flow is uniform. Please remember, when the water flow is uniform, the slope of this water surface profile at uniform flow is equal to channel bottom slope. Because in uniform flow, the water surface in the uniform flow and channel bottom parallel to each other. That happens only in uniform flow. So in uniform flow, the water surface profile slope is equal to channel bottom slope, that is S0. Then followed by the total energy line in the open channel with slope SF. So we are going to discuss the different types of channel bottom slopes. The channel bottom slopes are classified into different types based on this critical water surface profile having the slope SC. By using this critical water surface profile, we are going to classify this channel bottom slope into different categories. And for your understanding purpose, in the diagram, I also indicate this normal depth yn. If you check this diagram here, there is no depth y. Later I will indicate the depth y also in this discussion of classification of channel bottom slopes. So at present in this discussion, we consider only two depth of water flows, normal depth yn at uniform flow and the critical depth YC. This is the critical water surface profile having the slope SC. Now we are going to discuss what are the different types of the channel bottom slope in the open channel. In the open channel, the first one is critical slope. The critical slope of channel bottom. Now everyone please listen. When we say the channel bottom slope is critical. So first everyone focus on that. At what condition we consider the channel bottom as critical slope? We consider this channel bottom as a critical slope if the slope of the channel bottom is equal to the slope of the critical water surface SC. The channel bottom is considered as critical slope. Please everyone follow this carefully. The channel bottom is considered as critical slope if the slope of the channel bottom, what is the slope of the channel bottom? S0. If the slope of the channel bottom is equal to the critical water surface slope SC, then we consider the channel bottom slope as critical slope. That is the first type. So the channel bottom slope is said to be critical slope if the slope of the channel bottom is equal to the slope of the critical water surface SC. So if S0 is equal to SC, what is the S0? Channel bottom slope. What is the SC? The slope of the critical water surface profile. If the slope of the critical water surface profile SC is equal to slope of the channel bottom S0, then we consider this channel bottom slope as critical slope. So check the characteristics of critical slope. The characteristics of critical slope are at critical slope S0 is equal to SC. That is one characteristic. Please note down these characteristics in the notes. The characteristics of critical slope. First characteristic, at critical slope S0 is equal to SC. The second characteristic, at critical slope the normal depth Yn is equal to critical depth Yc. This is the second characteristic of this critical slope. So the critical slope is having two characteristics. First characteristic, S0 is equal to SC. The channel bottom slope S0 is equal to the slope of the critical water surface profile SC. That is one characteristic. Second characteristic is Yn is equal to Y. That is at critical slope the normal depth of flow is equal to the critical depth Yc. Please remember these two characteristics. I will ask you the questions in the upcoming concepts. So when the slope is critical slope, when we call this channel bottom slope as critical slope, if the channel bottom slope S0 is equal to the slope of the critical water surface profile. If the slope of the critical water surface profile SC is equal to channel bottom slope S0, that means the channel bottom and the critical water surface profile are parallel to each other. Then only these two slopes becomes equal. So if the critical water surface profile and this channel bottom, please check this dotted line. This dotted line is the critical water surface profile in the open channel. If the critical water surface profile slope SC is equal to channel bottom slope S0, then we call this channel bottom slope as critical slope. The critical slope is having two characteristics. One is at critical slope S0 is equal to SC. Second characteristic, at critical slope normal depth Yn is equal to critical depth Yc. These two are the characteristics of the critical slope of open channel. The second channel bottom slope is mild slope. This is the second channel bottom slope in the open channel, mild slope channel bottom. Now, when we consider the channel bottom slope as mild slope, when we consider this channel bottom slope as mild slope, we consider this channel bottom slope as mild slope if the channel bottom slope S0 is less than the slope of the critical water surface profile. Yc is the critical depth. This Yc is the critical depth, and this is the critical water surface profile in the open channel. The slope of this critical water surface profile is Sc. If the slope of the channel bottom S0 is less than the slope of this critical water surface profile Sc, we consider this channel bottom slope as mild slope. So S0 less than Sc. S0 less than Sc, we call this channel bottom slope as mild slope. Again, this mild slope is having two characteristics. First characteristic, at mild slope S0 is less than Sc. That is one important characteristic. Second characteristic, at mild slope Yn, normal depth of flow is more than the critical depth Yc. At mild slope, the normal depth of flow is more than the critical depth Yc. Dear students, I hope you remember in unit 1 at specific energy, I explained if the depth of water flow, please remember everyone, if the depth of water flow is more than the critical depth. So in the diagram, check this. Yn, normal depth of flow is more than the critical depth Yc. If the depth of flow is more than the critical depth, we call this flow as subcritical flow. I explained in that specific energy by using that graph, specific energy graph. Please remember that in the specific energy graph, we discussed the critical depth Yc, alternate depths Y1 and Y2. So in that specific energy graph, I explained the depth Y1 more than the critical depth Yc. If the depth of flow more than the critical depth, we call that flow in the channel as subcritical flow. because at depth y1 the velocity of flow is less than the critical velocity vc. So whenever the depth of flow here in the mild slope, this normal depth yn is more than the critical depth yc. So in this normal depth, the flow in the open channel is called subcritical flow. So this is about the mild slope of this channel bottom. The channel bottom is considered as mild slope if the slope of the channel bottom S0 is less than the slope of the critical water surface slope SC. So in mild slope, we have two characteristics. Please note down these two characteristics carefully. In the mild slope, S0 is less than SC and Yn is greater than Yc. And in the steep critical slope, just now we discussed, in the critical slope, S0 equal to Sc and Yn equal to Yc. Whereas in the mild slope, S0 less than Sc and Yn greater than Yc. So at Yn, at normal depth, the flow in the channel is subcritical flow. The third one is steep slope. Third channel bottom slope is steep slope. When the channel bottom is considered as steep slope, the channel bottom is considered as steep slope if the channel bottom slope S0 is more than the critical water surface profile slope SC. So that is the condition for steep slope. We consider the channel bottom as steep slope if the slope of the channel bottom S0 is greater than the slope of the critical water surface profile SC. So in the steep slope, S0 is greater than SC. That is the condition to consider the channel bottom slope as steep slope. Again, at steep slope, we have two characteristics. First characteristic, at steep slope, S0 is greater than SC. Second characteristic, at steep slope, the normal depth of flow Yn is less than the critical depth of flow Yc. So check this carefully. At steep slope, the normal depth of flow Yn is less than the critical depth Yc. These two are the characteristics in steep slope. At steep slope, S0 is greater than Sc, and the second characteristic is in steep slope Yn less than Yc. Check this normal depth. In the steep slope, the normal depth is less than the critical depth Yc. We know that when the depth of flow is less than the critical depth, we call the flow as supercritical flow. When the depth of flow is less than the critical depth, we call the flow in the channel as supercritical flow. So at steep slope, at normal depth, in steep slope, at normal depth, the flow in the channel is supercritical flow. Whereas in mild slope, at normal depth, the flow is subcritical flow. In the steep slope, at normal depth Yn, the flow in the channel is supercritical flow because Yn is less than Yc in the steep slope. So we discussed so far three channel bottom slopes. One is critical slope, S0 is equal to Sc and Yn equal to Yc. Second one is mild slope, S0 less than Sc and Yn greater than Yc. At normal depth Yn, the flow is subcritical flow. Third one, steep slope. At steep slope, S0 greater than Sc and Yn less than Yc, and at normal depth Yn, the flow is supercritical flow. The fourth channel bottom slope is horizontal slope. This is imaginary. Only in limited cases, the channel bottom is having horizontal slope. So if the channel bottom is horizontal, in that horizontal condition, the channel bottom slope is equal to 0. So when the channel bottom is horizontal with slope S0 equal to 0, we call this channel bottom as horizontal slope. This is the horizontal channel bottom having this slope S0 equal to 0. So if the channel bottom slope S0 is 0, we call this channel bottom as the horizontal channel bottom. In the horizontal channel bottom, we have two characteristics. First characteristic, in the horizontal slope s not equal to 0, and in the horizontal slope this normal depth yn is infinity. The normal depth of flow yn in the horizontal channel is of infinity. Any surface in the horizontal flow is called the normal depth yn. Because this slope is horizontal, all the water surfaces are parallel. So up to this infinity extent, we have this normal depth yn in the horizontal slope, and this is the critical water surface profile in the horizontal slope parallel to channel bottom, having the same slope s not equal to 0. So this is the fourth type of channel bottom slope, horizontal channel bottom slope, s not equal to 0, and the normal depth yn is of infinity extent. The fifth one is adverse slope. The fifth one is called the adverse slope. What is meant by this adverse slope? This is the direction of water flow. Normally, the channel bottom slope is falling in the direction of water flow. So to facilitate this water flow, this channel bottom is falling downward in the direction of water flow, but if the channel bottom slope rising upward in the direction of water flow, we consider the channel bottom slope as adverse slope. So in the direction of water flow, if the channel bottom is rising, we call that channel bottom as adverse slope. In the adverse slope, this channel bottom slope is positive. Channel bottom slope rising upward in the adverse slope, and the normal depth yn is again infinity in the adverse slope, that cannot be defined in the adverse slope, and this is the critical depth of flow in the adverse slope of this channel bottom. So in the adverse slope, the channel bottom slope is rising in the direction of water flow. Then we call this channel bottom as in the adverse slope condition. So like that, we have totally 5 types of channel bottom slopes in the form of a tabular form. I am going to discuss them again. Please go through this tabular form carefully, because we are going to use this tabular form in the further upcoming concepts. First, the channel bottom slope is critical slope. So please everyone check this tabular form. The first one is the channel bottom slope is critical slope. The critical slope channel bottom indicated as C. If the channel bottom slope is critical, that channel critical slope indicated as C. The symbol C indicates the channel bottom slope is critical slope. C is the symbol to indicate that critical slope in channel bottom. We know that critical slope, two characteristics. What is the first characteristic? S naught is equal to SC. The second characteristic is that critical slope yn is equal to yc. So at critical slope, the normal depth is equal to the critical depth yc. This is the first channel bottom slope, critical slope. The symbol is C. The second channel bottom is mild slope. The second channel bottom slope is mild slope. The mild slope of channel bottom indicated as capital M. We know that at mild slope, S naught less than SC and Yn greater than Yc. Please remember this, very important. In the mild slope, the normal depth Yn is more than the critical depth Yc. Since in the mild slope, the normal depth Yn more than critical depth Yc, at normal depth Yn, the flow is subcritical flow. Once the depth of flow more than the critical depth, the flow is called subcritical flow. So at mild slope, at normal depth, the flow in the channel is subcritical flow. Third one is steep flow. The steep slope of channel bottom indicated as S. Please remember these symbols carefully. Critical slope C, mild slope S, steep slope, mild slope M, steep slope S. The steep slope channel bottom indicated as S, capital S. We know that at steep slope, S0 greater than SC, but Yn less than Yc. In the steep slope, the normal depth Yn is less than the critical depth Yc. Since the normal depth is less than the critical depth, the flow in the open channel at normal depth is supercritical flow. Because the normal depth is less than the critical depth, the flow at normal depth in the channel is supercritical flow. Then the fourth one is horizontal slope. The symbol is H. At horizontal slope, S0 is equal to 0, and in the horizontal slope, Yn is infinity. Since Yn is infinity, in the horizontal slope, it cannot sustain the uniform flow. Then the fifth one is adverse slope. Adverse slope is indicated as A. Adverse slope is rising slope. So S0 is less than 0 in the adverse slope because it is rising slope. The channel bottom slope is rising slope. In the adverse slope also, we cannot consider the normal depth of flow Yn. So check these symbols in the different types of channel slopes. C indicates the critical slope, M indicates the mild slope, S indicates the steep slope, H indicates the horizontal slope, A indicates the adverse slope. And also these conditions. In the steep critical slope, Yn is equal to Yc. In the mild slope, Yn greater than Yc. In the steep slope, Yn less than Yc. Whereas in the horizontal slope, we have only Yc. Yn cannot be defined, it is infinity. And in the adverse slope also, in the horizontal slope, we have only Yc. Yn is infinity. In the adverse slope also, we have Yc, and we cannot define Yn in the adverse slope. So these are all the different characteristics of these channel bottom slopes: critical slope, mild slope, steep slope, horizontal slope, and adverse slope. You please remember these symbols used in the different types of channel slopes. C indicates the critical slope, M indicates the mild slope, S indicates the steep slope, H indicates the horizontal slope, A indicates the adverse slope of channel bottom. Now, up to this classification of channel bottom slopes, if anybody is having doubts, please interact with me. If anybody is having doubt up to this classification of channel bottom slopes, please switch on the mics, and if you have any doubts, please discuss with me. Dear students, please give me the response. Is my voice clear to you?
Sir, no doubts, sir.
Okay. Now, is there any doubts up to this classification of channel bottom slope? In open channels, the channel bottom slope classified into 5 types: critical slope, mild slope, steep slope, horizontal slope, and adverse slope. If anybody is having doubts regarding this classification of channel bottom slopes, please discuss with me. Any doubts, students? Please give me the answer. Any doubts about this classification of?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is the classification of channel bottom slopes in Unit 2. The channel bottom slopes are classified into 5 categories: critical slope, mild slope, steep slope, followed by horizontal slope and adverse slope. Please everyone focus them carefully in the tabular form. At critical slope, Yn is equal to Yc. At mild slope, Yn greater than Yc. At steep slope, Yn less than Yc. At horizontal slope, Yn is infinity. And at adverse slope, Yn cannot be defined. So these are all the different characteristics of these channel bottom slopes. Now, after this classification of channel bottom slope, I am going to discuss with you the other concept in Unit 2, classification of water surface profiles in the open channels. Please check that heading carefully. Classification of water surface profiles. Water surface profile means the top of the water surface in the open channel. Water surface profile means the water surface which is subjected to atmospheric pressure. We know that in the open channel, the top water surface subjected to atmospheric pressure, that top water surface in the open channel is called water surface profile. Please don't confuse. This is not the critical water surface profile. This is not the normal water surface profile. This is the gradually varied water surface profile. We are discussing the gradually varied flow in unit 2. So here that water surface profile is the gradually varied flow water surface profile at depth y. At depth y, we have the water surface profile, gradually varied water surface profile in the open channel. Now we are going to discuss that gradually varied water surface profile in the open channel. In open channels, the water surface profiles are classified with respect to channel bottom slopes. The water surface profiles in the open channels are classified according to the channel bottom slopes. Just now we discussed different types of channel bottom slopes. What are those different types of channel bottom slopes? Critical slope, mild slope, steep slope, horizontal slope, followed by the adverse slope. Depending on the type of channel bottom slope, we classify the water surface profiles in that open channel. If the open channel bottom slope is critical slope, please everyone listen. If the channel bottom slope is a critical slope, then the water surface profile in that channel is called as C curve. If the channel bottom slope is critical slope, the water surface profile in that channel is called C curve. So C curve indicates, this capital C is the symbol for critical slope. C curve indicates the water surface profile in the critical sloped channel. The bottom of the channel is critical slope. So we call the channel as critical sloped channel. The water surface profile, please don't misunderstood, don't confuse. We are not discussing the critical depth of flow. Critical depth of flow we are not discussing. Normal depth of flow we are not discussing. We are discussing the depth of flow y. That is the gradually varied flow condition. The water surface profile in the gradually varied condition is classified according to the channel bottom slope. If the channel bottom slope is critical, the water surface profile in that channel is called as C curve. If the channel bottom is mild, we know the channel bottom slope is mild slope. If the channel bottom slope is mild slope, the water surface profile in that mild slope channel is called M curve. If the channel bottom slope is steep slope, then the water surface profile in that steep slope channel is called S curve. Similarly, for horizontal channel bottom slope, the water surface profile is called H curve, and the adverse slope, the water surface profile is called A slope. So like that, depending on the type of the channel bottom, the water surface profiles in that channel is classified as C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve, followed by A curve. This C curve indicates the water surface profile if the channel bottom is critical slope. A curve indicates, this is the diagram. water surface profile. Please don't consider these zones. I will explain later. Just to focus on this water surface profile in the open channel. So this is the water surface profile. We classify this water surface profile in the open channel based on the bottom slope of the channel. With respect to this bottom slope of the channel, we classify this water surface profile. This is the top water surface, and this is not the critical condition. This is not the normal condition. This Y is the gradually varied flow condition. The water surface profile at that gradually varied flow condition classified into different types based on the type of the channel bottom slope. If the channel bottom slope is a critical slope, just focus on this. If the channel bottom slope is critical slope, if the channel bottom slope is critical slope, this water surface profile is called C curve. If the channel bottom slope is mild slope, this water surface profile is called M curve. If the channel bottom slope is steep slope, the water surface profile is called S curve. If the channel bottom slope is horizontal, the water surface profile is called H curve. If the channel bottom slope is adverse, water surface profile is called A curve. So like that, the water surface profile in the open channel at gradually varied flow condition classified according to the type of the channel bottom slope. So totally we have 5 types of water surface profiles. What are those 5 types? C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve followed by A curve. These are all the 5 types of classification of water surface profiles in the open channel at gradually varied flow condition. Now if anybody is having doubts about this classification of water surface profiles, please discuss with me. We discuss classification of channel bottom and also the classification of water surface profiles in the open channel at gradually varied flow condition. If anybody is having doubts regarding this classification of channel bottom and classification of water surface profiles in the channel at gradually varied flow condition, please discuss with me. If you have any doubts, please discuss with me. We are now moving into most critical concepts in Unit 2. If you know clearly about that channel bottom slopes and this water surface profiles, then only you can understand the upcoming most critical concepts in Unit 2. So if you have any doubts regarding this classification of channel bottom slopes and classification of water surface profiles in the open channel, please discuss with me. Any doubts, students? Anybody is having doubts about that channel bottom slopes and the classification of water surface profiles at gradually varied flow condition in the open channel? If you have any doubts, please discuss with me. Just now I explained the different types of channel bottom slopes. Just now we discussed the different types of channel bottom slopes: critical slope, mild slope, steep slope, horizontal slope and adverse slope. Then when the water is flowing in that channel, the water surface profile in the channel classified into different types based on the channel bottom slope. If the channel bottom slope is critical, we call this water surface profile in the open channel as C curve. If the channel bottom slope is mild, we call this water surface profile in the open channel as M curve. If the channel bottom slope is steep, we call this water surface profile in that channel as S curve. In the horizontal slope, it is called H curve. In the adverse slope, it is called A curve. So like that, in the open channels, we have 5 types of water surface profiles: C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve, A curve, depending on this channel bottom slope. Now, what are these zones in the open channel? Please check this on the diagram about these zones. We know that in the open channel, we have this depth of flow Yn and depth of flow Yc. Yn is called normal depth. Yc is called critical depth. These two depths, the depth Yn and the depth Yc, separated the entire space. These two depths Yn and Yc separated from this bottom of channel up to this vertical height. This entire space from this channel bottom is separated into 3 zones based on this normal depth Yn and critical depth Yc. So, depending on the normal depth Yn and the critical depth Yc, the space above this channel bottom is separated into 3 zones: Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3. What is this Zone 1? If the depth of flow Y, is greater than the normal depth Yn and the critical depth Yc. If this depth of flow Y is greater than normal depth Yn, critical depth Yc, we call this water profile is in Zone 1. So, Zone 1 indicates the depth of flow more than the normal depth and critical depth. Zone 2, if the depth of flow is between the normal depth and critical depth, sometimes Yc is more than Yn, sometimes Yn is more than Yc. If this depth of flow is in between, if the depth of flow Y is in between this Yn and Yc, we call that depth of flow is in Zone 2. So in the Zone 2, this depth of flow Y is in between Yc and Yn. And third zone, if the depth of flow Y is less than either Yc or Yn, sometimes Yn is lesser than Yc, sometimes Yc is lesser than Yn. So if this depth of flow is less than either Yn or Yc, we call that is in Zone 3. So like that, this vertical height above this channel bottom separated into 3 zones in open channel: Zone 1, Zone 2 and Zone 3. Now I am going to discuss those zones in the open channel. Check this. The water surface profiles are further classified depending on the position of the water surface with respect to critical depth Yc and normal depth Yn. So we consider the normal depth line NDL and the critical depth line CDL in the classification of the zones in the open channel. This is Zone 1. In that Zone 1, the depth of flow Y is more than the normal depth profile and also the critical depth profile. In Zone 2, the depth Y is in the middle. It is middle of this Yn and Yc. Whereas in Zone 3, the depth of flow Y is less than the Yn and also Yc. So depending on the location of the water surface profile, if the water surface profile is more than, that is depth Y is more than Yn and Yc, we call that water surface profile is in Zone 1. If that water surface profile depth Y is in between Yn and Yc, we call that water surface profile is in Zone 2. If the water surface profile depth is less than yn and yc, we call that water surface profile is in zone 3. Just we discuss the classification of water surface profile according to channel bottom slope. That is C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve and A curve. That is one classification. The second classification is the water surface profile is either in zone 1 or zone 2 or in zone 3. When we call the water surface profile in zone 1, please check this carefully. We consider the water surface profile in the gradually varied flow is in zone 1 if the depth of flow is above the normal depth yn and also critical depth yc. If the depth of flow y is greater than the normal depth yn and also the critical depth yc, we consider that water surface profile is in zone 1. Then when the water surface profile is in zone 2, the water surface profile is in zone 2 if the depth of water flow y is in between, lies between the normal depth yn and the critical depth yc. If the water surface profile depth y is lies between the normal depth yn and the critical depth yc, we call that water surface profile is in zone 2. So in the zone 2, the yn is greater than y and y is greater than yc. Otherwise, yc greater than y and it is greater than yn. So like that, if this depth of flow y is in between the normal depth and critical depth, we call the water surface profile is in zone 2. Then zone 3. The water surface profile is in zone 3 if the depth of flow y is lies below. It is lying below the normal depth yn and also the critical depth yc. We call that water surface profile is in zone 3. So in the zone 3, the depth of flow y is less than yc. It is also less than yn. So depending on the location of the water surface profile with respect to normal depth yn and normal and critical depth yc, sometimes the water surface profile is in zone 1, sometimes the water surface profile is in zone 2, sometimes the water surface profile is in zone 3. So please once again check that classification of water surface profiles in the open channels. We completed the classification of channel bottom slopes. The channel bottom slopes are classified into 5 categories. Critical slope, channel bottom, C is the symbol. Mild slope, channel bottom, M is the symbol. Steep slope, channel bottom, S is the symbol. Horizontal slope, channel bottom, H is the symbol. Adverse slope, channel bottom, A is the symbol. This is the classification of channel bottom slopes. Then we are in classification of water surface profiles. This is a gradually varied flow water surface profile. The gradually varied flow water surface profile is classified according to the channel bottom slope. If the water surface profile is in critical slope channel, the water surface profile is called C curve. So this is the water surface profile of depth y. This is a critical, this is the gradually varied water surface profile. If this water surface profile is in critical slope channel, this is called C curve. If the water surface profile is in mild slope channel, this is called M curve. If the water surface profile is in steep slope channel, this is called S curve. Horizontal slope, H curve. Adverse slope, A curve. So depending on this channel bottom slope, the water surface profile is classified as C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve and A curve. That is one classification. The next one is this water surface profile may be in zone 1, zone 2 or in zone 3. So check that classification carefully. First classification according to channel bottom, that is C curve, M curve, S curve, H curve and A curve. The next one is regarding these zones. This water surface profile may be in zone 1, zone 2 or zone 3. If the depth of flow Y is more than the normal depth and critical depth, we call the water surface profile is in zone 1. If the depth of flow Y is in between, like this here, if the depth of flow Y is in between the normal depth Yn and critical depth Yc, we call the water surface profile is in zone 2. If this depth of flow Y is less than, like here, is less than the normal depth Yn and critical depth Yc, we call that water surface profile is in zone 3. So like that, the water surface profiles may be in zone 1, zone 2 and zone 3. Now we are going to discuss what are the different water surface profiles in the mild slope channel. What are the different water surface profiles in the mild slope channel? Please remember, in mild slope, the water surface profile is called M curve. In mild slope, the water surface profile is called M curve. Please anyone respond when we call the channel bottom slope as mild slope. Anyone student, please respond when we call the channel bottom slope as mild slope. When we call the channel bottom slope as mild slope. Anyone, please give me the response regarding that mild slope in the open channel. I explained just now the mild slope to you. When we call the channel bottom slope as mild slope. Please give me the response. Anyone, give me the response. What is mild slope in open channel? Is my voice audible to you? Anyone, give me the response. Is my voice audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone, please give me the response. Anyone, give me the response. When we call the channel bottom slope as mild slope.
Yn is greater than Yc.
Yn greater than Yc. Very good. Yn greater than Yc. Then regarding the slope, S0 less than Sc. That is mild slope. So thanks to the student who gave that reply. In the tabular form also I explained clearly the mild slope channel bottom. Please go through the tabular form, everyone. This is an important discussion. So please listen the concepts carefully and understand them clearly. We know that the channel bottom slope is called mild if this normal depth Yn is greater than Yc. The water surface profile in the mild slope channel is called M curve. Now check that mild slope channel water surface profiles carefully. In the mild slope channel, we call this water surface profile as M curve. Since in mild slope, everyone listen this carefully. Since in mild slope, Yn greater than Yc, since in mild slope Yn greater than Yc, this depth of flow Y in the mild slope maybe in zone 1, maybe in zone 2, maybe in zone 3. So in the mild slope channel, the water surface profile is called M curve. In mild slope, this normal depth yn greater than yc. Since this normal depth yn greater than yc in the mild slope, this depth of flow y in the mild slope may be more than yn and yc. If y is more than yn and yc, the water surface profile is in zone 1. And if this depth of flow y is in between yn and yc, the water surface profile is in zone 2. If this y, depth of flow y, is less than yn and yc, the water surface profile is in zone 3. So in the mild slope channel, every student please listen this carefully. In the mild slope channel, the water surface profile, that is called M curve. The water surface profile in the mild slope is called M curve. That M curve in the mild slope may be in zone 1, zone 2 or in zone 3, because in mild slope yn is greater than y. So this is that mild slope, yn greater than yc, critical depth. So in the mild slope channel, this normal depth yn is greater than the critical depth yc, and in the mild slope, the water surface profile is called M curve. So in the mild slope, this depth of flow y, first condition, depth of flow y is greater than normal depth yn, critical depth yc. So this water surface profile in the mild slope is in zone 1. Second condition, the depth of flow y is in between normal depth yn, critical depth yc. So this water surface profile, that is M curve, is in zone 2. Third condition, depth of flow y is less than normal depth yn, critical depth yc. So the water surface profile is in zone 3. So in the mild slope channel, the water surface profile M curve may be in zone 1, zone 2 or in zone 3. If that water surface profile in the mild slope channel, that is M curve, is in zone 1, we call that as M1 curve. M1 curve. If the water surface profile in mild slope channel M curve is in zone 2, we call it as M2 curve. If the water surface profile M curve in the mild slope channel is in zone 3, we call that as M3 curve. So in the mild slope channel, we have three water surface profiles, M1 in the zone 1, M2 in zone 2, M3 in zone 3. Because in mild slope, yn is greater than yc, these water surface profile in the mild slope, that we call it as M curve, may be in zone 1 or zone 2 or zone 3. So in the mild slope channel, we have three M curves. In the zone 1, M1, zone 2, M2, zone 3, M3. That is the classification of water surface profiles in the mild slope. So check them carefully. In the mild slope, this is mild slope channel. Sometimes the water surface profile in the mild slope is above, more than the critical depth and the normal depth. This is that water surface. This is the mild slope channel. In that mild slope channel, we call this water surface profile as M curve. In the first condition, the water surface profile is above the normal depth line and the critical depth line. So here at this location, the depth of flow y is more than normal depth yn, critical depth yc. We call this water surface profile as M1 in the mild slope. This is the second condition. If the depth of flow y is in between yn and yc, we call this water surface profile in the mild slope channel as M2 curve followed by M3 curve. So in the mild slope channel, we have three water surface profiles, M1 curve, M2 curve, and M3 curve, because in mild slope channel, Yn greater than Yc. If the depth of flow Y is more than Yn and Yc, the water surface is in zone 1. So we call this water surface profile as M1 curve. If the depth of flow Y is in between Yn and Yc, this is the water surface in the zone 2. We call this water surface profile as M2 curve. If the depth of flow Y is less than Yn and Yc, water surface profile is in zone 3. We call it as M3 curve. So in the mild slope channel, we have three water surface profiles, M1 curve, M2 curve, and M3 curve, depending on the depth of flow Y with respect to normal depth Yn, critical depth Yc. This is called critical depth line at Yc. This is called normal depth line at Yn. If the water surface in the open channel is above the critical depth line, normal depth line, we call it as M1 curve. If the water surface is in between normal depth line, critical depth line, we call it as M2 curve. If the water surface is below the normal depth line, critical depth line, that is in zone 3, we call it as M3. Please everyone focus on this diagram of mild slope channel bottom. Observe this M1 curve, M2 curve, M3 curve in that mild slope channel bottom. This is the water surface profile in the open channel. In zone 1, M1 curve, zone 2, M2 curve, zone 3, M3 curve. If anybody is having doubt on this diagram, please discuss with me. On this diagram, if anybody is having the doubts about that water surface profiles classification, M1, M2, M3, please discuss with me. Like that, in steep slope, in critical slope, in horizontal slope, and in adverse slope, we have water surface profile curves. First, I consider this mild slope because you can easily understand what is M1, what is M2, what is M3. We know that the water surface profile in the mild slope channel is called M curve. If that M curve is in zone 1, it is called M1. If the M curve is in zone 2, it is called M2. If the M curve is in zone 3, it is called M3. So like that, in the mild slope channel bottom, we have three water surface profiles, M1, M2, and M3. I will tell you later why this M1 rising upwards, why this M2 falling downwards, why this M3 rising upwards. I will tell you later about this nature of M1, M2, M3. First understand about this existence of M1, M2, M3 in the mild slope channel bottom. Any doubts, students, about that M1, M2, M3 in that mild slope channel? If you have any doubts, please ask me. If you don't have doubts, please give me the response. Sir, no doubts. If you have doubts, please ask me. So I explained classification of water surface profiles in the channels, that is C curve, M curve, S curve, A curve, and H curve. And also the water surface profile may be in zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. In the mild slope, Yn greater than Yc. So in the mild slope, the depth of flow Y may be more than yn and yc, that is in zone 1. The depth of flow y may be in between yn and yc, that is zone 2. The depth of flow y may be less than yn and yc, that is in zone 3. This is in mild slope channel. So in the mild slope channel, we have 3 water surface profiles. M1 curve, it is in the zone 1. M2 curve in the zone 2. M3 curve in the zone 3. Now anyone tell me, in the steep slope, how many curves we have? Water surface profile curves. We know that in the steep curve, the water surface profile is indicated as S curve. How many S curves are there in the steep slope? What is the condition of steep slope? Yn less than yc. How many S curves are there in steep slope? So check that condition of steep slope. This is mild slope. Check that condition of steep slope. This is steep slope channel bottom. We know that the water surface profiles in the steep slope are called S curves. In steep slope, Yn less than Yc. Okay, students, the time is 12. I will stop the class, today's class here. You will continue this water surface profiles in the next class. So with this, I am going to stop the today's class. You please leave from the class, join the next class. Next class, I will explain about these water surface profiles.